Hi, I'm Jane. We did not talk about as many things. So I don't know if I facilitated as well. But if I do miss things, people from my group, please speak up. So we spoke about Resuscitate Rhode Island as a clearinghouse, as a way to connect groups, and that was something that people really liked that had happened over the past year. They had enjoyed the meetings that we had, really enjoyed having the existing groups all coming to those meetings to plug people in and get them to be more in force for the existing groups and those connections. People thought that not only should we be having those connections, but we should also try to proactively connect ourselves to groups that might not know about us, and so to plug people in even more. People were very happy with the emails, giving them information about actions and meetings and things that way, and also Facebook as a way to connect to events and things going on. Somebody mentioned that at one point, I think we had like a Sunday action. Is that true? It might have been Working Families Party. We didn't know in our group. I remember that there was like a newsletter or like something each week. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Like it kind of was like you could do this, this, or this, and people liked the idea of having like a regular opportunity for action, and that was one of the ideas that came up, like a weekly. Come out this Sunday. We're going to protest this, or we're going to do something. People talked a lot about the 2018 elections, and that Resist Hate, there's a call for Resist Hate to be really active as a way to plug people in, to influence those elections both on the national and local level. Also, Resist Hate, keeping people informed, that it's hard to get information, that there are things that people know and that other people should know. So an idea came up for Resist Hate to send out a newsletter, which I thought was a really interesting idea. I'm hoping the people that have those ideas and might want to help us with that, but I love that idea, to kind of keep people informed. The talk about a need for local organizing. People talked about the kind of house meetings that we had over the summer, and that it is really important for people to connect at a local level as well. We talked about scorecards, which we had talked about before, and for those of you that aren't aware of what those are, but just being able to actually score our legislators so that people are really aware of where they stand on the issues, because sometimes that's hard to figure out. We think they're all Democrats, but then we find out, oh, you don't believe in climate change and you're against abortion rights. Like, how are you really a Democrat? But that's what happens here in Rhode Island. So, so a need for that as well. People wanted to have more information on how to resist between meetings. So again, where we were talking about those Sunday actions. And then another thing that came up was translation. So we talked about how we have had translation at a couple of the meetings and it hasn't been used, but people brought up a good point about how we don't translate any of our written communication, and that there is I think a great idea that we should be offering that, and that people in the group, we have a huge group and a lot of people with a lot of talents, and people may be able to volunteer to help us to translate our emails and to get the message out to people who don't speak English as their first language, and making sure that we put out that information before a meeting, that we will have translation available for X, Y, and Z languages for upcoming meetings. So,
thank you.